Welcome to my YouTube channel, Rick Surowicz Watercolor. At any time during this video, you can click on the link in the lower right hand corner to subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoy the video, be sure to click the like button. This is the subject that I'll be working with today, this winter scene. Kind of a gray day, overcast day with a lot of warm colors in it. And I've got this drawing laid out here. I've done a little prep work. I've put some masking fluid just to highlight some snow on some trees and splatter a little bit in here to give a little bit of sparkle of light. As once I complete this, I'll take that off. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and get going. And it's kind of a gray day. I'm going to be using this large wash brush. This is a quill brush. And I'm going to start with a little ultramarine blue, and we'll use some burnt sienna. Get a little bit more pigment out here. This isn't going to be too dark to start, so I want to mix some warm and cool neutrals, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'll start with that. So it's just a slight warm neutral. And I'm working at about a 20-degree angle. And I'm just going to bring this wash down my page. So gravity keeps pulling this moisture down. A little bit of cool in there too. And I'm going to bring this down to right where there's an area of some snow, and there's right past all this kind of vegetation. And I'm going to bring it down here to the edge of this little hillside. So that's all wet up here on the top half. Got some little pools of water that are building where it hits the dry paper. I'm just going to stop there. So I'm going to take some more pigment, same colors, ultramarine blue and raw sienna at the moment. And I'm going to keep it on the cool side to start. And I'm going to add just a little of the warmer mixture. I want that to be a little darker. I don't want it to disappear. I'm going to use a little raw sienna. Just kind of working with neutrals right now. And we're going to take that all the way through the woods, up into these trees. Some more of this raw sienna. You know, it's quite dense at in the lower area levels of the trees, and I'm putting a little heavier glaze in there. Now we've got this area here of a warm tone that comes in where the field is, the kind of the open field. And I'm going to bring in some burnt orange, touch that a little bit, bring some over here, pick up that extra moisture that's around. And I've got a couple, let's see, we'll wait on that. There's a couple areas of this kind of a shrubs or bush or something here up front. I'm going to wait and put that in once this area is dry. I still want to get a little stronger edge right here. Taking some burnt orange. And I think I'm going to go back. I'm going to add a little royal blue to my burnt sienna. This is a dark, kind of dark blue, darker than the burnt sienna. Makes a nice neutral, so I'm going to drop some of this in what's going on here. And right in here, I'm going to take a little raw umber, some cerulean blue or ultramarine blue, and drop a little of that in here. I've got kind of an area where it gets a little thick with some trees and briar bushes. I'm going to add a little bit of this up here. There's some trees that are closer to us. I've got a tree that I put in here. It's not in the picture, but I wanted to kind of frame that in a little bit. And I'm going to take a scraper here and I'm going to lift a little of this color out where the tree is. Let's see, go a little bolt wider here. So I keep that light tone. And while I have these neutrals, I'm going to take some of this mixture. I'll take a little ultramarine blue. So I have a bit of a warm tone here and a cooler tone. That's what I want here. Kind of a cool neutral. And I want some leaning a little bit towards the blue gray. I'll start thin. And it's probably a little too dark for what I'm after. Yeah, a little more water into this. We'll leave that for now. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put a little shading, a light value on these areas of snow. Here I've got this kind of a bit of a hillside here, the edge of a hillside. I'm going to pick up these puddles of moisture. Okay. And I've got this area right here, this area of ice. And I actually want to make that a little cooler, I think, more towards the blue. Bring that over here. And I'm going to soften some of this with a spray, with a mist. Okay, now got a lot of moisture in my painting, and pick up some of this excess around it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to dry this. I'm going to come back in and start to put in some darker values around these rocks and some of these areas out here. All right, my painting's dry. I've cleaned my palette, and now I'm going to take some raw sienna, a little burnt sienna. We'll go back to the ultramarine blue. Start mixing some colors. A little cool here, warmer here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start to put in some of these trees. I have a 1/2-inch flat brush. I'm not gonna get too fussy with these trees. I want to keep them wet. I want to come in and work some branches in while this is still wet. So I want to try and get a little more moisture on these shapes. Some raw sienna. Blot that with a tissue. Okay, now I'm going to take a rigger brush. While these are still wet, I'm going to bring in some of these branches. Got a tree right here. take some of this color, get a little royal blue, some burnt orange, raw sienna, just a combination. Take a little moisture off my brush, and it's a 1/2 inch flat brush. Start to pick up these rocks that are laying around here. That's not the color I wanted. And some blue in my brush. There we go. It's a little thick, not quite that thick of the paint. It's a little too opaque. You know, try and get a little bit of texture in some of the application here. Let it brush be a little low with a low moisture. Give me some textures. Here. It just has a couple shrubs or briar bushes or something here that are in front of this open field, so I want to just kind of put those in there. Take a little of this darker mixture, add a little down here below it. So over here, you know, we have little bits of, we got some rocks. Some reflections. And get some darker shapes in a few spots here. I want to take, put a little water here. I'm going to put a little water here. Actually, a little bit more. And I'm going to take, this is my 8 round brush, and I want to pick up some of the trees be reflecting out here. Okay, again, I'm going to dry this. Okay, that's dry. And I want to get a little stronger paint on some of these trees. They're a little too transparent. I'm just going to glaze over. Maybe just a little stronger with some of these branches, a little darker value. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to take a rigger brush here, and I'm going to paint some of these trees back here. They're very faint. We have some here in the distance. I've got a tree that I put in here. Texture here, and then I can see. All right, so I'm going to take this is a 6 round brush. Well, kind of a dark value here. Need to get a little darker with what I'm doing around this ice, around the shoreline, to help define that edge a little better. So I've got that, this dark value, kind of following that. I'm going to take some water and just bring this out. And then I'm going to spray it, let it kind of come down there. Alright, so I'll leave that alone. I'm going to take a little different wash brush. And now I'm going to put just a light middle value to help show some of these edges around some of the snow, some of the contour of the rocks and the roll of the land. Just coming in with a middle value. going to take a little bit of this and light value and just put a little more substance of that tree. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to go a little warmer here. Just a little something out here. And then I'm gonna get a larger brush. And I want to pick up a little of that up in here, make this a little more dense. All those branches and everything, just give it kind of a light value. I'm gonna splatter a little bit of paint around, get some texture. Glaze back here. Okay, I'm going to dry this. Okay, that's dry. I'm going to take some burnt orange and I'm going to splatter a little of that up here in the trees. I always like the texture I can get. I'm going to put a little bit of that and even some darker royal blue, put a little of that down here. And I might take darker value. A few spots here. I like having a lot of texture. And I'm going to take some of this a darker value. I'm going to put in some little branches and some things, just little saplings. I'm going to add a few here just to create some overlap and make it a little more interesting. Try and get some straight, some curve. Short and long. Get some contrasting elements here. Do a few little ones here. And let's see. Have something coming in from the foreground here. Get something going over top this tree, overlapping it, help create a little depth. I'll do some similar thing here. And I want to bring something in from this side. So these are just things I'm adding myself. Add a little more energy to it. And I could have a couple out here, just small, to repeat that. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the masking glue that I put on here earlier. A little pattern of some light and some snowy textures in here. Just rub that off. Okay, and that's where I'm gonna stop. And there we go. Get that framed in a little bit. So there we are. Started with a lot of neutrals, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. I used some raw sienna, some burnt orange, some royal blue. That's about all I used in this. And a range of values, soft, hard edges, curved shapes, straight shapes, so a variety of elements. So I hope you enjoyed that video.